Dorset CPRE, the countryside charity, is the local branch of the CPRE, Campaign to Protect Rural England. CPRE has worked for almost a century to support and promote the countryside. Our work covers a number of areas. We care about nature and landscape, including biodiversity issues, better places to live, including affordable housing, litter and recycling, campaigning for a deposit return scheme, sustainable farming, climate change, promoting rooftop solar, and hedgerows. The focus of our talk today is on the importance of hedgerows. So what is a hedgerow? Hedgerows are essentially trees that have been managed to form a lower hedge instead of growing upright into a tree, as we can see in the picture on the right. They're often planted alongside property boundaries, footpaths, or along roads or driveways. Healthy hedgerows are teeming with life and vital for nature. In the bottom right, we have an image of a hawthorn, which flowers in spring, around April to June, providing food for bees and butterflies. The berries can be seen from August, providing food for birds in winter. At CPRE, we are passionate about hedgerows. They are the hard-working heroes of the countryside, but these special habitats are at risk. 1 in 9 of the UK's most vulnerable species are often found in hedgerows. These include the hazel dormouse and the much-loved hedgehog, whose decline has been closely associated with hedgerow loss. They are disappearing fast. 50% of the hedgerows in England have gone since the Second World War. Hedgerows are important because over 600 plants, 1,500 insects, 65 birds, and 20 mammal species use UK hedgerows for food, shelter, and to move between areas. They connect habitats, helping species to thrive and increase biodiversity. They offer shelter to animals from sun, wind, and snow. They give much of the countryside its unique character, the familiar signs of changing seasons, the blossoms of spring, the berries of autumn, and the fallen leaves of winter. Like trees, hedgerows lock up vast amounts of carbon dioxide and store it in their roots, leaves, and in the soil, and to help mitigate the impacts of climate change. They reduce soil erosion and flooding by slowing water flow so it soaks into the ground more easily. In our towns and cities, they help in reducing air pollution. So what can be done? CPRE has been campaigning for hedgerows for nearly 100 years to draw public and government attention to the value of hedgerows. We commission research, reports, and respond to both local and national consultations. We want the government to work with the landowners who own hedges and with local councils to create thousands of miles of new or improved hedgerows, as well as better protecting the ones we have already. In July 2021, CPRE launched a campaign calling for the government to set a national target to increase the hedgerow network by 40% by 2050, as recommended by the Climate Change Committee. The campaign for a national hedgerow planting and restoration target saw success this year when the government committed to create or restore 40,000 miles of hedgerows by 2050. CPRE's campaign was awarded first prize in the Animal and Environmental category at the 2023 Charity Awards. We're very proud of that. Also, thanks to generous corporate donation, CPRE launched the Hedgerow Heroes campaign in 2021 to get hedgerows planted, restored, and maintained. It is now in its 3rd year, with projects being run by CPRE London, Oxfordshire, in Bristol, Hampshire, to name a few. Many of these projects are raising awareness of what makes a healthy hedgerow. For example, cutting or trimming them at the right time of the year and not too often or too tight. CPRE has produced a lovely pocket booklet on our little rough guide around the hedges. to share some history on hedgerows and encourage more people to care about them. There are many species of trees that are particularly suited to hedgerows, such as hazel, hawthorn, and blackthorn. Hedge plants are certainly much easier to identify in spring and summer when they are in leaf and produce berries. And the best time of the year to run a hedgerow survey is certainly in spring and summer as well. The guide is very useful. It has different pictures of the different plant species, and it certainly helps with identifying them. Did you know that the oldest known surviving hedgerow in England is Judith's Hedge in Cambridgeshire, which is over 900 years old? Also, the hedgerows were not given protection until 1997, thanks to a long CPRE campaign. The first legal protection for important hedgerows, the Hedgerows Regulation, was finally created. This means that landowners have to tell local authorities if they want to remove one that's over 20 metres long or that joins another hedgerow. Our pocket guide can be downloaded as a PDF document from our website, or you can contact CPRE for a printed copy and we'd be happy to send them to schools. What can schools and students do to get involved and help? Take our pocket guide and enjoy exploring the hedgerows in your school grounds and the countryside near you. You could look at doing a hedgerow survey to record the height, the species, the length of the hedgerow, its condition, and also keep an eye on your hedge and see what lives in it. You could look at planting or restoring a hedge in the school grounds if you have the space. In terms of volunteering, many local CPRE groups and volunteers around England are working to protect, plant and restore hedgerows. If you're interested in volunteering, contact your local CPRE branch in England and also other local wildlife groups to see if they're running a hedgerow project. For example, there may be a local survey to build up data about each hedgerow. This is then added to a mapping system to identify hedges, highlighting areas for rejuvenation or planting. Also look out for activities during National Hedgerow Week, which takes place in spring and is organised by the Tree Council. Here in Dorset, we have the Great Big Dorset Hedge Initiative, a Dorset Climate Action Network project to facilitate the restoration and extension of hedgerows, the length and breadth of Dorset. Last year, we were involved in the planting of a new hedge in a school in Christchurch, Dorset. Very exciting. It was great to see all the kids and all the excitement planting the hedgerow, and now they are hedgerow heroes looking after the plants, and I believe it's being successful. These websites provide useful reference material and guidance on planting hedgerows, hedgerow surveys, and more covered earlier. Thank you.